Hello, we're Quantum Leap Robotics, and we're giving tips for rookie teams.
So, who are we? We are an 8th-year veteran FTC team who's been to the World Championship twice now. We also went to the Maryland Tech Invitational last year. We have been the Ohio Showcase team from 2017 to 2021, along with being a winning Alliance captain at 2 qualifiers. We have been the Inspire, Think, Connect award winners, along with being the Motivate and Control award finalist, along with the PTC Design Award finalist, and we ranked top 10 global offensive points last year. Our rookie season was a very delightful one, to put in very short terms. We found our passions were we contacted a lot of veteran teams and got some insights from them. And most of all, we made a lot of mistakes. We learned from them, we repeated them, but at the end of the year, what matters is we got through it, and it was a very fun season for all of us.
So, our history. So, last season, we actually got the the world record for the ultimate goal season in the Ohio OSU Scarlet and Gray remote tournament. But we weren't always scoring this high, especially in our first couple of years. We were actually scoring pretty low. But the important thing about first is about constantly learning and constantly getting better.
The engineering notebook is one of the very main things you'll do throughout the season. It's very important. You want to make sure it is very detailed and professional. It's going to include each member's thoughts during the journey, include any software development, any obstacles you guys had a team, and make sure to have a lot of visual images because that's how the judges are going to flip through your book quickly and see what you guys did throughout the season. You want to make sure you talk about what happened in your meetings, any discussions, thoughtful insights you guys had. You also want to make sure you guys communicate on a regular basis with your team. This, anyway, through Gmail, WhatsApp, GroupMe, any platform that you guys use is very convenient, will be very helpful throughout the season. Making sure all your members are on the same page is very crucial and very important for your success throughout the season.
So, some important resources for you to have in FTC are Stack Overflow, Chief Delphi, and the biggest one is the Discord. So the Discord is a community of all the FTC members, and so we put a QR code for you to join. And so if you ever have any questions during the season, there's very smart people on the Discord that can always help you.
As you all know, building robots is not cheap by any means. So this might mean working towards a 501c3 nonprofit status for your robotics team. If you can't get it your first year or not interested yet, that's completely fine. Make sure you guys can contact local companies for parts or money and look for any educational discounts these corporations give. Or even utilize your school resources such as your 3D printers or printers to print out your engineering notebook or get any parts made from them.
So these are some of our sponsors. And moving on to the design.
Yeah, you want to make sure you have a software that you guys feel comfortable with. So last year, there are 3 main softwares that we used: Autodesk Fusion, SolidWorks, and Siemens Solid Edge. You guys can pick any one of the 3 that you guys feel most comfortable with after experimenting with them and start designing your robot in this virtual CAD. After that, you want to make sure you guys move into the prototype stages and integrate the CAD and what you're doing in real life together so you build one cohesive robot. If you look at the picture on your right, this is the robot we built in CAD, and this we want to make sure it was as close to as a real robot as possible so we minimize any flaws.
So for programming, the big thing is that you want to break down the logic. So you want to take a big problem and then you want to break it up into smaller problems. Therefore, it is easier to solve as a whole. Now, code does not have to be complicated to work consistently, which is a big misconception. And it's actually better if it's simplistic because say you're in a stressful situation such as competition. You need to be able to move through your code easily and be able to make changes fast. And that brings me to my next point, which is keeping your code organized. So if you have all your code organized into classes, then you'll be able to navigate through your code easier during those stressful situations. Along with this, you need to keep some sort of version control. Now, we use GitHub, but there's many different version control systems out there, and you can find whichever one is best for you. So version control essentially allows you to have versions in a cloud in the cloud. So no matter what happens to your machine or what happens to the project on your machine, you can always revert back to those timestamps that's stored up there in the cloud. So how does the tournament day look? So there's three phases, and so the first phase is inspections. So you want to be prepared when you walk into inspections, therefore you can actually participate in the competition. So for inspections, in order to prepare, you want to make sure that you check the game manual. So in the game manual, which is linked on the website, you can see all the list of guidelines that you have to follow from the robot guidelines and the software guidelines. So some of these guidelines, for example, is making sure that you're on the right version of the app. And on the robot guideline side of things, you have to make sure that you're in the 40-inch by 40-inch by 40-inch sizing limit and the weight limit, which is 40 pounds. So once you pass inspections, now you can move on to judging. In the judging phase, you submit an engineering notebook and then you give a 5-minute presentation on all the aspects of your team. And this ranges from software all the way to outreach and also gracious professionalism and also design. So you need to pack all those into a 5-minute presentation. And that may seem daunting, but with enough practice and with enough planning, you'll be able to do that just fine. Now that's when the third phase starts, which is a robot-based competition. So this is what you guys all been preparing for, and you basically compete with a random list of teams, and then from there you move on to the awards, which they announce the awards and the winners of the competition and whoever advances.
So now you've competed in the tournament. What happens next? This is where our advancement criteria comes in. So, Inspire Award winner gets first priority to advance to the next stage of the tournament, whether it be from qualifier to states or states to worlds. Next, then the priority goes to the winning alliance captain, Inspired Award second place, so on and so forth. But there can be conflicting awards. So the winning alliance captain could end up being the Inspire Award winner. So what happens is they get skipped, and the next advancement goes to the Inspire Award second place, so on and so forth. So, for example, if winning alliance first team got Inspire Award second, the fifth advancement will be skipped, and the next advancement will go to Inspire Award third place. So you want to base your strategy around which can we do best, and how are we more fundamentally stronger in engineering notebook or our robot.
So 8 key tips for rookies. So the first tip is to keep calm and collected. There's no point in getting stressed and getting angry. There's nothing that will come out of that. The second tip is keep an organized approach to the season. And this can come from designing, then building, which is my next point, or it can come from CADing or just keeping your EN organized and also keeping your programs organized, as we mentioned earlier. And the fourth key tip is to always be open to multiple ideas, because the truth is that the more ideas you have, the better they become. So that leads me to my fifth idea. And so FTC is not just about robots. FTC is mainly about the spirit of gracious professionalism and cooperation. And the biggest thing is it's okay to make mistakes, but it's very important to learn from them. And last but not least, have fun.
All right, so you may be wondering what gracious professionalism. I know we touched upon it a little bit on our last slide, but this is one thing you'll continuously hear throughout your rookie season. It's a core principle of FTC. So what really is gracious professionalism? It's doing the right thing when nobody expects you to do it. Let's say you have a part, but also a local team needs it to complete one major component of their build. Gracious professionalism is you helping them out by giving them that part, or just helping them out with any sort of problem or bug they run into with their robot or build. And when it comes to tournament day, if somebody else needs a motor or something snaps in half and you have the part to make them finish that part, it's giving them that and helping them complete it, even though they are your competition. It's not just about robots, it's about building a community and fostering a relationship with your opponents.
So if you have any questions, feel free to contact us at any point of the season for help. And so you can email us at quantumleap8719@gmail.com, or you can Twitter DM us at QL8719.